What's up, everyone? It is your host, Ghost, coming to you live with another wonderful video. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. I'm tired as hell. I'm late. Per usual last night. I only got a few hours of sleep, so. Quick announcement. I didn't announce it earlier because I wasn't sure if I was gonna have the day off or not, but I did get it. I will be covering the fourth GOP debate today. So make sure you tune in for that. I'll set up I'll set it up to when I get done today. So just be on the lookout for that. I was honestly gonna cancel my show today, but whatever, it's fine. Anyway, sorry, I'm just checking my audio. Anyways, so yeah, be on the lookout for that show or the show later today. Again, I will be covering the fourth GOP debate. So yeah, just be on the lookout for it. Oh, I guess I'm tired. All right. So first off, make sure you follow me at official W Ghost. Best way to find out when I go live and whatnot. So check it out. Yeah, you'll find live the links to everything when I go live, etc., etc., etc. Follow me at rumble.com/withghost and rumble.com/gamingwithghost for my daily show and my gaming channel. Check me out there. Make sure you give me a like and a follow there. Follow me on my YouTube with Ghost. And then check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv official with Ghost. Kick as well, official gaming with Ghost. I think those are all my shit. Oh, check me out there. It's basically what we're saying. Oh, man, exhausted. Make sure you check out Coffee Brand Coffee. The links of all my stuff are in the description, so check it out. My referral link and my what's it call it? My referral link and my and coupon code are in the bottom. Like I said, guys, I'm really exhausted, so my mind's kind of sluggish today. All right, so getting on to what we're talking about. We're going to talk about Nikki Haley. She shows her true colors. She has thoughts on parents and 12-year-old children getting sex change operations. Lives at TikTok. We got the president of the National Women's Law Center, Fatima Goss Graves, who apparently is betraying women's rights. AOC weighs in on men in sports, female sports. The House Judiciary Committee is launching an inquiry into Fulton County DA Fannie Willis. So we'll check that out as well. The Tate brothers talk about GTA, and honestly, in my opinion, have some dumb thoughts about it. So check that out. Biden said he wouldn't have run if if Trump wasn't running, I'm not sure I'd be running. Kind of showing he doesn't really have the hearts for this. We got some weird trans shit in schools. And then finally, we have an Irish senator dropping some truth bombs about immigration and crime. So let's get into it. Sorry for the old low energy, guys. Like I said, I'm so goddamn tired. Got stuff I'm gonna do today. Probably take a nap, but then I might do some gaming later. I don't know. All right. Yeah.
Madam Ambassador, another question is what care should be on the table when a 12-year-old child in this country assigned female at birth says, actually, I feel more comfortable living as a boy? What should the law allow the response to be?
Well, I think the law should stay out of it, and I think parents should handle it.
Madam Ambassador, another question is what care should be on the table when a 12-year-old child in this country assigned female at birth says, actually, I feel more comfortable living as a boy? What should the law allow the response to be?
Well, I think the law should stay out of it, and I think parents should handle it.
Madam Ambassador, another.
Okay. So, she thinks the law should stay out of it. Parents should handle it. Well, okay. I'm going to agree with that. But so I got tricked by this person. See, I really should start watching this full. I just I want to give my first thoughts on it, like without like watching it through. I really need to watch it through. She doesn't really talk about, saying parents should be. Well, I guess she kind of did. I mean, obviously, this is back. Oh yeah, this was earlier. I don't know. Was it? I don't know.
The question is what care should be on the table.
Yeah, I think the law should be. I don't agree with her. I don't think, like I said, my brain process is really slow. But I don't agree with her that the law should stay out of it. I think there should absolutely be a law against kids having surgeries that are, detrimental to them. I mean, should parents be allowed to let their kids amputate an arm off? And why the genitals? I really don't understand this. So, I mean, Nikki Haley is showing her true colors. She thinks the law should stay out of it and parents should handle it. Now, maybe, what the fuck is this shit? Sorry. Maybe there's some, she has some sort of like fantasy or a belief that parents are good at all times and they would never sorry. Sorry, I got distracted here. Maybe she has some false belief that parents will always do what's right for their children, but that's not what we see. We see parents in California, even in Texas, they're going out of their way to, transition their kids, not even because the kids want it, but because they want to be seen as, they want to outwoke their fellow parents. When it comes to transgender, I've always said I'm pretty sure like 95% of it's a fad. Kids just doing it because they see other people doing it. They think it's a way to get popular, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. 4% is parents wanting to outwoke other parents, basically, because that's the thing now. I have a transgender child. Well, I have, excuse me, a transgendered gay black child, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So 4% would be like, parents wanting to outwoke, so they kind of push this shit onto their kids. And then 1% is a genuine delusion. So I think how the breakdown of it really goes. Like I'm all for parents' rights, but there's got to be some basic common like themes. Like, if you're going to completely prevent your child from going through puberty, that shouldn't be allowed. I think we can all agree to that. I don't think that's a parental right. I think that's more, one of those things that are more harmful than good. Actually, I don't see it being a good at all. I see it all harmful unless there's an actual legit, not mental, but medical reason to put your kid on puberty blockers, because we made them for a reason. And, I'm sure there are some cases where putting a kid on puberty blockers is a good thing to do. but I don't think it is for, wanting to transition your kids. So no, Nikki Haley, the law shouldn't stay out of it. There should be a very simple law. If you're a minor, you can't go through a sex change operation. The second you hit 18, cut off your dick if you want to. Don't care. But it's, while you're a minor, you don't get to do it. I think it's very simple. All right. So let's go check out another woman who doesn't like women, betraying women.
Genetic composition of a transgender versus a woman the same?
Oops, sorry.
Gender versus a...
So this person, Fatima Graves, she's apparently the president of the National Women's Law Center, and she's going to talk about the difference between men and women, and apparently she can't.
Genetic composition of a transgender versus a woman the same? No.
Well, I'm not a scientist, but
Well, we're talking about science here, so I hope they're not the same. So that's why you see all these physiological differences.
if I can answer though, I mean, if your question is, how do you define woman? A woman is an adult female, but there's a lot of variation that goes beyond my level of high school
Well, I just got
biology.
to tell you, you can't, I'm not looking at a definition. I'm talking about the science. The science genetically is a man, is a different genetics than women. Plain and simple. That's just
So
what it is.
I guess what I would say is that I'm not a scientist or a doctor, but it's my understanding that it is more complex than what you are saying, in that there is variation among men and among women, and sometimes more variation among than there is between. Again, I'm not a scientist, and I don't think the panelists are scientists either. It seems like maybe a different scientific hearing that you could.
Well, that's why you have the differences. That's why you see muscle mass. That's why you see tidal volume. That's why you see all these.
Right, there's variation. So for example, in the WNBA, there's players that are 5'5" and there's players that are 6'9".
So let me.
Why?
Okay, yes, there are variances, but the difference between a 5'9" and a 6'9", whatever, what you say, 6 foot what?
6'9".
So let me.
There's wide 9.
So let me.
There's wide.
Sorry.
There's players that are 5'5" and there's players that are 6'9".
Yeah, so the difference is just the height, okay? But they're both still dudes. Like, you can't compare. Sorry. You can't compare height to gender when it comes to muscle mass and everything like that. Like, there's differences, of course. I'm sure, a taller or a bigger person would have a taller person would have more muscle mass than a shorter person. Sure, I could see that. But or a person that, works out has more muscle mass than a short person. Sure. But when you break it down, they're both dudes. So they both will have denser muscle mass and bone structure than a woman would. So her attempt to there's always a variance. Yeah, but when you break it down, they're still gonna be dudes regardless. It's not a variance between it's not a vast difference, it's not a vast difference as compared to a man versus a woman. There's a reason why we separate our sports. We put women in one category, men in one category. Why? Because they are fundamentally different. And it doesn't matter. If you put a 6'9" chick next to a 6'9" guy, they're fundamentally different. All right. The 6'9" guy is going to be stronger, have better muscle fiber, et cetera, than the woman. Like, there's going to be a giant, real difference between the two. All right, let's listen to what else this dumbass says.
So let me.
There's wide variation.
Now that you brought that up, let's talk about that. So
she keeps comparing the variation between men, eye color, hair color, all that stuff. Like, it's the same as the difference between women and men. No, women have reproductive organs that allow them to create, store, and give birth to another human being. Men don't have that. They have the seed that will go and implant itself in the woman that will start the process. But if you take a seed and put it into a guy, he's not going to make a baby out of the damn thing. So, like, her logic doesn't make any sense. And I mean, she's a woman, so she doesn't have any logic.
The center for the Arizona, the Phoenix Mercury, she had to get a genetics test to prove that she was a woman.
Actually, sorry, it's more like bad joke.
Did she not?
You know what?
She did.
And it's actually going to the problem with these sorts of sex verification and sex texting.
Well,
That when I think about what all women, but especially Black.
Yeah, you know what women don't want? They don't want to have to play sports with dudes. Okay, so then let's go on here. So she can't talk about what a woman is because she's not a scientist. I don't think you need to be a scientist to say, dudes have the reproductive organs of males, women have the reproductive organs of women. So let's find out what else she had to say back in July 13, 2022.
National Women's Law Center. I was hoping that you could define what a woman is for us in this committee hearing.
Well, as the president of the National Women's Law Center, you can imagine I say woman a lot in my day job.
Okay, so I'm just
and
asking for the definition.
It's so funny. As the president of the National Women's Center, you can imagine I say woman a lot. Okay, great. That's awesome. Now can you fucking define it like I asked instead of being a cunt? Like, I just fucking hate these people nowadays. Like, look, people, there's a fundamental difference between a man and a woman. Just deal with it. All right. At this point, just deal with it.
So, and so what I'll tell you is I am a woman. That's how I identify.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You're not a woman because that's how you identify. You're a woman because you are a goddamn woman. Okay. If you die and, we melt your skin off and everything like that, and you're just left bones, and someone looks at you, they're going to be like, an archaeologist, scientist, whatever, will be like, yeah, this is a woman.
But I wonder, however, if in part the reason that you're asking a question is that you're trying to suggest that people who
I am
don't
simply asking
identify
the
as
question,
women
and I
can't
simply
be
want an
pregnant.
answer.
And so I think it's actually really important to be very clear here that there are people who identify as non-binary. I think
Okay.
about
All right.
And they're idiots. Okay.
5% of young
We're not
people
going to go
do
there. I was hoping
who
maybe
can
you would.
be
I was
pregnant.
hoping that maybe you would say something.
No. Okay. Just because you identify as non-binary and you get pregnant, then that means you're a goddamn woman. Just because you're a moron and decide, oh, I want to be cool, I'm going to identify as non-binary so I can be cool to my friends. It doesn't change the fact that you're a woman. All right. There are facts and there are feelings. When you say I identify as, that's a feeling. What you actually are is a goddamn woman. Or in my case, I'm a goddamn man. No matter what I fucking identify with.
That maybe we learned in high school biology that has to do with X and Y chromosomes, but which define male and
Look, man. This chick doesn't understand what you're saying. She doesn't know what X and Y chromosomes are. She's a moron.
female, but I guess we're not going to get there. Since you are the president.
All right, yeah. I don't understand this. This is why we have a breakdown in society that we have. We can't answer simple questions. What is a woman? Well, I don't know. It's a person that I identify. They feel this way. No. You're a woman because you're a goddamn woman. Fucking hell. Okay. You have vagina. You have God damn, this fucking hurts my head sometimes. There's a reason why we separate the genders into two different categories in sports, male and female. Why? Because when you put males with females, when it comes to sports, they win. Fucking, what's her face? Serena Williams lost to a hungover dude who ranked like 500th or some shit like that. Like he had a really low ranking in tennis. And she lost to him while he was hungover. Okay. And she's the top in women's sports, the top. So if he can kick her ass while hungover, come on. Like physically, look, folks, I don't know if you know this. Physically, women are inferior to men. Okay. It is what it is. Fucking hell. So, if you're part of the women's National Women's Law Center, the president doesn't believe what women are. So she's gonna not really gonna protect her rights. Like, look, if you're gonna allow men who want an easier life, so they identify as women, then to do whatever they want and come into women's spaces and whatever, they're just going to end up owning you and taking over and doing better than you. Like, sorry, it doesn't matter what they identify as. They were born a male. They got the bone density, the body of a male. Everything about them is male. Okay, just because they identify as something doesn't change that. And so they're going to end up defeating you in a lot of various other things, especially when it comes to sports. Fucking hell. So ridiculous. All right. AOC also weighed in on this because she's an idiot as well. AOC claims women will face doctor exams if biological men barred from female sports. Doesn't make any sense. We never had doctor's exams before. Like, first off, this makes no goddamn sense because up until recently, when we lost our goddamn minds, men were already barred from female sports. We didn't have doctor exams. This doesn't make any sense. Like, were there doctor exams when, for this entire time that we've had female sports? Were there doctor exams then? Nah, I don't know. I don't think so. So why would we have them now? Squad Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the Democrat of New York, claimed that all underage women will face genital examinations if biological men are barred from women's sports. Again, it doesn't make any sense. When was this written? Okay, apparently, goddamn, Riley Gaines is still going at it. Yeah, this doesn't make any sense because, was this happening before we allowed men into sports? Because biological men, regular men, have been barred from female sports for years. Pretty much ever since they created female sports, men have been barred from it. It's funny. If I'm not correct, women aren't barred from female sports. There's nothing like that says women can't come here. They just can't, they're just not able to compete. So they don't do it. Ocasio-Cortez made her claim during the Tuesday House Oversight Subcommittee on Health hearing featuring NCAA swimming legend and women's sports advocate Riley Gaines. The New York Democrat said that there were several proposals looking to marginalize transgender Americans. Good. Before claiming during her questioning that women would have to get their pants checked if someone disbelieved their stated gender. I don't think they're going to have to get their pants checked. I think they might take a blood test, and I think that'd be probably a way they'll end up doing it. Holy crap! She called. Okay, I might have to check this out. Ryan Gaines hits back at Squad Dem, calling her testimony transphobic or misogynist. Okay, we are talking about opening up all women and girls to genital examinations when they are underage, potentially just because someone can point to someone and say, I don't think you're a girl. She claimed. We're saying this in an environment of a post-Dobbs America where states are criminalizing access to abortion and want nothing more than data on women to figure out who's getting a menstrual cycle, who doesn't have one, and we're supposed to believe this is going to make us better and safe. I think not, and per usual, I don't believe we're sitting here on a panel of men that actually thought about the biology and privacy concerns of all women, trans or cis, squad member ended. What about the privacy consequences of regular women not wanting dudes in their goddamn locker room? I have a daughter, okay? Talk about this a lot. I have a daughter. I don't want some dude in the locker room with her. Well, she's not going to go to public school, but still, I wouldn't want a dude in the locker room with her just because he's delusional or wants to do a fad or just wants to catch, a sneak peek at the chicks and say, oh, I'm trans. Ocasio-Cortez claims comes almost a year after the Ohio State Senate removed a controversial provision from a state house proposal barring biological men from competing against women, which have required internal and external exams to confirm a student athlete's gender. Yeah, Ohio State Senate, you guys are idiots, okay? You don't need to do an external exam. You can do an internal one, test their blood and shit. Sure, there's ways to figure out, okay, yeah, this is a female. Ohio Senate Republicans replaced a provision with a requirement for parent athletes whose gender is in question present a copy of the participant's original birth certificate to compete. Okay, there we go. There's the solution. I'm not sure why that's in the bill. It's unnecessary. State Senate President Matt Huffman said about the genital inspection provision June 2022. All of these tests can be done with a simple DNA swab. Okay, so someone in the Ohio State added this internal external exam. Dude's probably a pervert. Got it. Okay. They remove it, replace a requirement of a copy of the participant's original birth certificate, and then the Senate state president's like, "This is dumb. Why is this in this bill? We can just do this with a DNA swab." So, right? So you're telling me someone intelligent said this is dumb and we're going to change this, and you're trying to rail against it. A Tuesday hearing saw fireworks from get-go as Gaines, an outspoken advocate of keeping women's sports limited by biological male, fired back at Ocasio-Cortez fellow team member Rep. Summer Lee, Democratic Pennsylvania, I think. Lee called Gaines' testimony, as well as the testimony of other women leaders, looking to restrict women's sports to biological women, transphobic in her opening remarks. What the fuck? Gaines blasted Lee, the ranking member of the House Oversight Subcommittee on Health, after the squad member took her shot at the witness testimony. There's a place for everyone to play sports in this country, Gaines said, noting trans Americans were included in her view. But unsafe, unfair, and discriminatory practices must stop. Inclusion cannot be prioritized over safety and fairness, the former NCAA swimmer concluded in her opening remarks. And ranking member Lee, if my testimony makes me transphobic, I believe your opening monologue makes you misogynistic. Makes you a misogynist. I doubt Lee understands what a misogynist is. It's a hatred and contempt of men, folks. Okay, hold on. So I just clicked on it. Hold on. Just going back at this. So she does that. Makes you a misogynist. Lee called a point of order and urged that Gaines' remark be struck from the record, but the point of order was withdrawn after a brief discussion. That's hilarious. You're like, hey, she called me a misogynist. Yeah, because you're an idiot. Seriously. Hold on. Okay, Gaines' testimony comes alongside several women leaders called as witnesses to discuss as witnesses to discuss the Biden administration proposed Title IV order. Oh my fucking god! I swear to God, I'm getting so annoyed with this. Okay, let's try that again. Let's reshare it. This is Summer Lee. Of course, she's black. Lisa McClain, Republican, Michigan, the House Oversight Committee on Health chairwoman, announced on Tuesday that Gaines Heritage Foundation senior legal fellow Sarah Parshall Perry and former Learning College head women's lacrosse coach Kim Russell would attend next week's hearing titled "The Importance of Protecting Female Athletes" and titled 4, I think it is. The hearing will delve into the administration's proposed rule changes to Title IV to expand the definition of sexual discrimination to include gender identity. Proposed change would mean a school or college could not ban transgender athletes from competing. Congress must do everything it can to protect women's sports. Okay. Here's an idea. Why don't we just make a trans sport category, right? Like, all right, if you want to do this, fine. If you want to be included in all this, that's fine. We can do that if you want. Okay? We'll just put you in your own separate category. There you go. All done. Right? Simple, right? Well, apparently that's too much. You can't put them in their own separate category that make them feel bad. Well, how about we just do that instead? If they really want to compete in sports, put them in a trans category. And then they can, come in. You can do trans women, trans men. There you go. All done. This isn't that complicated. Or we just keep them out and make them do... we'll change the name to sex at birth, or your biological sex category. Biologically male, biologically female category. There you go. All right, moving on. The House Judiciary Committee has launched an inquiry into Fulton County DA Fannie Willis for colluding with the January 6th committee. The committee discovered a letter between Willis and Chairman Bean Thompson. We have learned that Willis's office coordinated its investigation actions with the partisan select committee. The House Judiciary Committee commented. Man, that's not a good fucking letter. I thought this was going to be a decent letter to read. Can't really read it. Hold on. Let me see. There it is. Got something dried on my nose. It's really annoying the shit out of me. All right. Via you. Dear Chairman Thompson, as you may be aware, I'm conducting a criminal investigation of possible attempts to illegally interfere with the administration of Georgia's 2020 general election. Through news reports, we are aware that your committee has interviewed witnesses relevant to our investigation. We understand that the same reports that your committee investigators may have collected records of relevance to our investigation. Please accept this letter as an official request from me for access to records that may be relevant to our criminal investigation. Those records include, but are not limited to, recording transcripts of witnesses' interviews, depositions, electronics and print records of communications, and records of travel. It may well be most efficient of your staff and effective for our understanding for my staff and me to meet with your investigators in person. We are able to travel to Washington at any time between January 31st, 2022, February 25th, 2020. We'll do our best to accommodate the schedule of the committee. Thank you for considering this request. You may contact me directly via my personal email or personal cell phone app number and via at another known deputy. So there we go. I don't know if this is really a collusion. I don't know. I don't know if this is collusion. I don't think that's illegal to, say, hey, I hear you're doing this, federal government. I would like access and information if you could please. I don't know if that's a collusion, but who knows? Oh, shit. There we go. Hopefully. I hope you guys weren't hearing that for too long. All right. So yeah, I don't know if that's actually a collusion. It doesn't sound like it to me. It'd be one thing if she specified, hey, go after these people. That sounds like a collusion to me. That would sound like a collusion to me. But I don't know. It's like, hey, I hear you're doing this investigation. This may be relevant to my investigation. Could I have the information? So I don't know. It like I said, it doesn't sound like collusion to me, but I am not an expert in this at all. But we'll see. We'll see what goes on about this. And you know what's going to happen? Probably nothing. Nothing ever happens to these political people. Let's be honest. All right. Moving on. So Andrew Tate, the Tate brothers, really, had a discussion. They did their emergency meeting, et cetera, and then they talked about this new GTA 6, I think it is. So we're going to listen to what he has to say about it. I heard a little bit about it. To me, it sounds dumb. In all honesty, to me, it sounds dumb. But let's hear it from the man himself.
Up in jail, so you could talk about football all you like. If they want you in jail, you're going to jail.
New GTA 6 is out. Have you ever played any GTA? This is a genuine question. I've never played any of them.
I believe that I played the first one. That's like a top-down, bird's-eye view kind of 2D game without any real graphic violence back when I was maybe 10 or 11 or 12, whenever it came out. I do recall that. But you know what? I'm going to speak about GTA 6 while you're on the topic, because now we're actually talking about something that's relatively important. Video games aren't necessarily evil. But, I remember when video games, because I'm very old. I'm an old man. I remember you used to play a little man in a red hat trying to rescue a princess and teaming up with your brother. Now, if rescuing purity from evil while teaming up for your brother isn't a good theme of a video game, then I don't really know what is. I'm not a fan of anyone under the age of 18, 21 maybe, playing video games where the goal is to shoot police officers. I just don't think that's good for society. With all the amazing graphics and engines and whatever people put.
Okay, so here's where Tristan is incorrect. The goal is actually to avoid the police. Look, I haven't played GTA in a while. I don't think ever. I think I played it once or twice. I don't know. It's been a minute since I played GTA. There we go. But the goal isn't to go and kill the police. Because if you kill police, you get a 1-star. They'll follow you for a bit. 2-star. They'll chase you. 3-star. They'll throw in road spikes and, actively pursue you. 4-star. There's SWAT. 5-star. I think the military comes in. Or is that 6-star? I don't know. Basically, every time you mess with the police, you get more and more stars, and they come after you more and more. So if you kill a police officer, you're just going to get more stars. So the goal of the game isn't actually to go and shoot police officers. The goal is actually to avoid police officers as much as you can. So this is where he's incorrect. Now, it's not his fault. Apparently, he hasn't played GTA in a while. Now, I don't remember what it is in GTA. I don't remember the first one. But, so, Tristan's incorrect here. Yes, the goal of GTA is to commit crimes and have fun doing it. But here's the thing. I don't think that really it has that much impact. If you play a video game, you do something in the video game. I don't think a lot of normal, regular people play video games and then transfer that to real life. Like, oh, I'm going to go and, go hire a hoe and go hire a hooker and beat the shit out of her and take her money. I don't think anyone actually thinks that's a thing you can do just because you played GTA. So I really don't get these perceptions where, well, video games, they influence, kids and stuff like that. Look, let's be honest. TV is far worse than video games. All right. With video games, it's a step. It's a bit, regardless of the graphics, you're taking a real step away from reality when you play video games because you got a controller, you're controlling it, doing whatever you want. All right. But when you're watching TV, you're sitting there, you're passerby, and TV, they generally will take real life events or a reflection on real life and make it more, what's the word I'm looking for? Make it more associative to yourself. So, I think TV is far worse in what Tristan's talking about than video games ever are. There's a degree of separation with video games because you got to turn on a console and you got to put a controller in your hands. You got to move that controller. You're actively doing something, and your mind is actually, associating more with the fact that you are controlling this person than in TV when you're just a passerby just watching shit. I think there's just a big difference in people's minds. I really hate this narrative of how video games are, the problem. Someone will play a video game and think, oh, I can do this in real life. I don't think that's really ever happened to anyone that wasn't mentally disturbed, at least.
Into these video games, I feel like you could create a better objective with the game,
Again, the objective
maybe you
isn't to
are
play
the police officer. Maybe you are trying to stop.
Again, the goal of GTA is to actually avoid the police as much as possible, to run away and not get captured by the police, not to actively engage with them.
Sorry, carry on.
Criminals.
Sorry.
Okay.
No, sorry, carry on. I just had a cough.
I'm not talking to you.
No, just carry on.
No, I'm not.
Why?
No, I'm done.
Why?
I'm done with this.
All right, so there we go. So I think Tristan's really he just said some dumb shit. Okay, I love the Tate brothers, but that was just some dumb shit. I think even Andrew realized how dumb it was sounding. That's why he started interrupting his brother. But I could be wrong. All right, moving on. Biden to supporters. If Trump wasn't running, I'm not sure I'd be running. The 81-year-old Biden, the oldest president in history, faces underwater approval ratings and concerns for voters over his stamina. President Biden on Tuesday told supporters he's not sure if he would seek a second term in the White House in 2024 if former President Donald Trump wasn't trying to win his old job back. His old job. Yeah, I don't believe that for a fucking second. And if you believe that, you're a fucking idiot. Regardless if Trump was running or not, Biden would definitely have ran again. Now, should he? It's a different story, but he definitely would be running. So don't let that bullshit ever. Don't let it fool you. If Trump wasn't running, I'm not sure I'd be running. We can't let him win for the sake of the country, the president said at a fundraiser at a private home near Boston, Massachusetts, according to a pool report. Biden's candid comments, his handlers apparently were sleeping at the wheel, about his reasons for running re-election came as he reiterated that he and the Democrats have emphasized that the threat Trump poses to American democracy if he wins back the White House. Trump's not even hiding the ball anymore. He's telling us what he's going to do. Make no bones about it. Spotlighting Trump's threat to democracy has been a central theme for the Biden for Biden dating back to April 2019, launch of his 2020 presidential campaign. The president at the fundraiser also highlighted Trump's recent renewed calls to scrap the Affordable Care Act, that's the sweeping healthcare law passed during Biden's tenure as vice president during then President Obama's administration. Oh, you mean the one where, oh, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor? I'm just going to blatantly lie to you repeatedly and laugh at you when you believe me. That Care Act where if you didn't want to get medical insurance, you were punished. That Care Act? Just asking. The fundraiser, one of three the president was headlining in Boston, in the Boston area, on Tuesday comes as the president then kicked off a fundraiser sprint to close the year to build resources for what will certainly be an expensive 2024 election campaign, a re-election effort. The president's remarks suggest that Biden may not have run for another 4 years in the White House if Trump had decided against a 2024 bid. Bullshit. And it wasn't suggested. That's what he said. After his comments at the fundraiser made plenty of headlines, the president was asked as he returned to the White House on Tuesday evening if he would be seeking a second term if Trump wasn't running. I expect so, but look, he's running. I just have to run. Yeah, okay. Asked if he dropped out, if he'd drop out of the race, asked if he'd drop out if Trump left the race, the president said, no, not yeah. Now, see, he's bullshitting you. He's such a fucking liar. Trump remains the commanding frontrunner of the GOP presidential nomination as he makes his third straight White House run. He made history earlier this year as the first former or current president to be indicted for a crime, but his four indictments, including a federal court in Washington, D.C., and in Fulton County in Georgia, on charges he tried to overturn his 2020 presidential election loss, have only fueled his supporters among Republican voters. Trump currently holds a large double-digit lead over the rest of the shrinking field of GOP rivals for the nomination. Biden made history in 2020 as the oldest person elected president as he defeated Trump. The now 81-year-old Biden has long viewed himself as the Democrats' best shot at keeping Trump from winning back the White House. Yeah, no. Biden continues to suffer from underwater approval ratings among many Americans and faces concerns not just from Republicans and independents, but also from Democrats over his physical and mental stamina. While the president is the commanding frontrunner of the 2024 nomination, polls indicate that many Americans, including plenty of Democrats, don't want the president to seek a second term in the White House. Those same survey spotlight that voters are far from thrilled will likely prospect of a rematch between Biden and Trump. And that's going to be where Trump owns this old fool, because he, without like someone whispering in his ear, he's got really nothing. Here's the thing. I don't believe for a second Biden wouldn't have ran regardless if Trump ran or not. Those who attain power rarely give it up. Very rarely. Now, founding fathers, a lot of them, a lot of presidents prior to FDR would give up power after, 2 terms. If you guys didn't know, it didn't used to be law that there weren't term limits on the president. You could run as many times as you want. It wasn't until FDR, who ran 4 times and won 4 times, actually got a term limit that we got. It wasn't until FDR, where he ran 4 times and won 4 times, that Congress actually put term limits on the presidency, which is 2 years, which is what we see today. But it's not normal now, even when that a politician would give up power. Every president has ran for a second term, regardless of how poorly they did. Every president. I can't think of a president since FDR that hasn't ran for a second term. I could be wrong. I just don't remember. Or I can't think of one. All right, moving on. But yeah, all that's bullshit, by the way. Just don't believe anything that comes out of Biden's mouth. He's a fucking liar. Oh, I wasn't going to run, but Trump ran, so now I gotta. Yeah, okay, buddy. Okay. A school district under federal investigation over alleged inadequate response to locker room incident involving trans student. Sun Prairie Area School District is under Title IV investigation by the U.S. Department of Education over their alleged lack of response to a sexual harassment incident that occurred in March. The Department of Education Office of Civil Rights launched the investigation after receiving a complaint from Wisconsin Institute of Law and Liberty, WIL, regarding the incident. How long is this goddamn article? Oh man, so much talking. In April, Will sent a letter to the member of the Board of Education detailing the event of the March 3rd incident, as well as the school's failure to appropriately address and resolve the matter once the incident was reported to the principal. In the letter, Will outlined the incident as followed. On Friday, March 3rd, 2023, 4 freshman girls in EHS participated in a swim unit as part of their first hour physical education. After the class, the girls entered the girls' athletic locker room to shower and change for class. Upon entering, they noticed a senior male in the area containing lockers and benches. It is our understanding that this male was 18 years old at the time of the incident. According to the girls, this student was not in the first hour PE class they were participating in. While the girls were supposed to see him in the locker room, were surprised to see him in the locker room, they had a general idea that this student identified as a transgender and had used the girls' bathroom before. While they were uncomfortable, they proceeded to the showering area without interacting with the student. All right. The girls entered the shower area with their swimsuits on, which was their common practice as they rinse off. As they began to shower, the male student approached them, entered the shower area, announced, "I'm trans, by the way," and then undressed fully and showered completely naked right next to one of the girls. That's just fucking weird. He was initially turned towards the wall, but eventually turned fully, exposing his male genitalia to the 4 girls. Understandably, girls were caught off guard, shocked, closed their eyes, and turned away and tried to hurry up and leave the showers as quickly as possible. The letter explains that the matter was reported on March 6th by a student who was not present in when the incident occurred, but heard the story from one of the girls. Associate Principal Heidi Walter, of course it's a woman, did not report the incident to the Title IV coordinator and instead asked for the names of the girl, which the other student did not provide. Oh, he's smart. The student returned to the associate principal office on March 10th, ready to provide the names, but the associate principal, Walter, told the student that the girls could approach her themselves. There's no indication the school took any action. However, the mother of one of the freshman girls found out about the incident from her daughter and emailed EHS principal Renee Coleman and copied Superintendent Brad Sarant to inquire about what the school was doing to address the situation. The principal called the mother and apologized, but asked her to speak with district staff about the matter. Another parent called the school on March 29th, but the principal didn't provide any information as what EHS had done to address the incident. The school received multiple requests for clarifications regarding the actions taken by the school to address the incident, but an in-person meeting did not occur until over a month after the incident on April 5th, 2023. In this letter, Will explained that during the meeting, the girls' parents asked what the policy was, how EHS allowed this to happen, and what the policy would be going forward. No one at the meeting provided answers to the parents' questions except for referencing a policy that they did not identify, describe, or bring to the meeting. Frankly, the district social worker at the meeting appeared to be the only individual who put any effort to resolving the issue. She expressed a desire to meet with the girls, apologize, and solicit feedback on how the district can improve. There was no indication that the district intended to address the matter in any way or change any policy, but failing to act promptly in response to becoming aware of this incident, SPASD did not follow its own policy in this instance regarding district response to alleged sexual harassment. We'll highlight it in the letter. In a website created by the school district about the incident, the district stated, "We want to be clear, the Sunny Prayer Area School District does not condone any student of one sex being present in a state of undress in the presence of a student of another sex on school property. The district does not condone the student of one sex showering in the presence of another of students of another sex." Then why didn't you do anything about it? In its letter to Will, the Department of Education Office of Civil Rights noted that similar complaints can resolve early if the subject of the investigation expressed an interest in resolving the complaint. OCR also noted that a resolved agreement signed by the recipient and submitted to OCR must address all the allegations that OCR determined are appropriate to resolve before the conclusion of investigation. If it does not happen, OCR will issue. Let's see. Okay. That's not very important. So there you go. I remember when all this stuff was happening and people were, saying, hey, this might not be a good idea. Stuff like this was something people said, hey, this could potentially happen. Shocking that it has actually happened. Here's what you can do. If you're a dude, you can't shower with girls. Well, shower in the girls' locker room, regardless of how you identify. There you go. I solved the matter. Boom, all done. Okay? If you're in school and you want to identify, you get to identify with whatever you were born as. And I don't mean like your biological fucking shit. Okay? If you're biologically male, you get to identify as a biological male. If you're biologically female, you get to identify as a female. And we'll keep you as such. If you want to go outside of school and do your fad shit, then go ahead and do that. It's just goddamn ridiculous. Everyone part of that school, like the school district who knew about this and didn't do shit about it, need to be fired. Hopefully, a father came and had a strong talking to this pervert. That's what he is. He's using transgenderism as, a way to be a pervert. Like 95% of them. All right. Now time to go to Ireland. Holy shit, Irish Senator Sharon Kilgan drops truth bombs about immigration and crime. What's wash? I know. Potato. See, I don't make fun of just anyone. I make fun of everyone, even Irish people. All right, let's listen to her.
Firstly, on Taoiseach's statement yesterday that it is not right to connect immigration with crime is ridiculous. Not all immigrants are created equal, and an immigration policy that does not recognise this will end in disaster and tragedy. We don't record crime statistics by ethnicity, because to do so would offend liberal sensibilities, but other European countries do. The Dutch do. They've done it for 10 years, and here's what they've found. Individuals from non-Western immigration background make up 14% of the population in the Netherlands. However, they commit 40% of all crime and violent assaults. Populations from Africa or the Middle East tend to exhibit rates of 2 to 4 times higher than those of native Dutch. And in both Germany and Spain, the suspect rate of Algerian immigrants for crimes is 10 times that of natives.
Look, let's just be honest. It's because those countries are racist. That's why they do it. They're racist.
And in Italy, it is 17 times. And Ireland has the largest groups of Algerian asylum seekers in the world being admitted into the country. Asking us not to connect crime to immigration is asking us to ignore reality. These are official statistics published by other EU governments. They are factual and true. Are they?
Look, you can't trust white people, okay? You can't trust them. Whatever they're saying, it's got to be false. Black people don't commit crimes.
Hate speech. I fear, Minister, under your new bill, they might well be investigated as such. I have long said that this government would rather receive a pat on the back from Brussels than a clap on the back from the Irish, and that so often we need to get serious issues in this country to attract attentions from the international media before the government will do anything about them, because the government only listens to the media and not to the people. Well, now Ireland has the eyes of the world on it, and they're posed to see how this country is being turned into a post-democratic EU vassal state, which is about to pass censorship legislation, the likes of which we have never seen in the West, so that its government will be protected from the criticism of the people it is elected to govern. Maybe that will give them pause for thought, but I won't hold my breath.
All right, there we go. Look, that lady's just racist, okay? Black people don't commit crimes. It's complete bullshit. All right. Well, there we go. I don't really have much comments on it. She said a lot of facts. You know what? Real quick, we talked about, look, it's just, it's something we see all the time. When a large mass of immigration happens, what happens? There's a lot, crime does go up. You see, a lot of fucking areas. What's happening? A lot of crime is going on. And, it's not saying all black people or immigrants are criminals, but, you just see a high increase in criminality, and it is what it is. Okay. We should have every right to do what we see fit to curb that. Again, not all immigrants are criminals, but there's a lot of them they are, and we can't just pussyfoot around it anymore. You got to take actions. Doesn't matter if you're an immigrant. If you committed a crime, bye. All right. Now here's something real quick before I end it. We talked about a little bit about, Biden saying, "Oh, I wouldn't run if it weren't for Trump." Well, here's Trump saying he's going to become a dictator.
Media has been focused on this and attacking you. Under no circumstances. You are promising America tonight you would never abuse power as retribution against anybody.
Except for day one.
Except
Look,
for?
he's going crazy. Except for day one.
Meaning?
I want to close the border and I want to drill.
That's not retribution.
I'm going to be, he keeps, we love this guy. He says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, no, other than day one. We're closing the border and we're drilling. After that, I'm not a dictator.
So that sounds to me like you're going back to the policies when you were president.
That's
all right.
Exactly.
Because the media.
So Trump's just being a smartass. You're not going to be a dictator, are you? Only on day one. I'm going to drill, baby. Dude, you can't not love Trump. Let's be honest. Like, anyone who hates Trump doesn't really watch what he says and understand there's a lot of what he says. It's just being funny. All right. So there you go. Now, again, make sure you check out my stream later today. I'm going to watch the fourth GOP debate. This time it's taking place in Alabama. Forrest Gump. My name's Forrest Gump. All right, so let's see. So the four people it looks like that is going to be in this debate this time. It's going to be Ron DeSantis, shocking, Nikki Haley, shocking. Vivek Ramaswamy, it's not a surprise, and Chris Christie. So those are the 4 that are going to be there. That's it. It looks like. I'm gonna say it's gonna be in Alabama. Alabama, gotta go find Bubba. I love Forrest Gump movie. It's going to be 7 p.m. Local. What's that time for me? Hold on. Probably find that out. No, not interested in that. Fine. Let's see. Oh, that's no way that fucking what that means. Hold on, I'm just looking at what time. Let's see. So it's going to be 5 p.m. my time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So just be on the lookout for that. So make sure you come and watch me as I watch the coverage of this. Yeah, so 5 p.m. Pacific is when I'll be doing this. So check me out. I'll be probably doing this on YouTube, Twitch, Rumble. Maybe I'll even do it on Twitter. Who knows? I hope you all have a good day. Peace out. Make sure you like and subscribe. Check out Coffee Brain Coffee. Check out my Rumble channels. I hope you have a good day.